Part 116 special procedures governing the recovery of expenses by the parties board of the educatory proceedings. Educatory proceedings. Section 116, 1016-101 of the Rule 1016-1002, the Act that applies. 1016-103 proceeding recovered. 1016-104 decision authority. 1016-105 eligibility applicant. 1016-106 standard award. 1016 allowable fee for the expense. 1016-109 awards against other agencies. Subpart B, information required from applicants. 1016-201 consent of the application. 1016-202 net worth exhibit. 1016-203 documentation fees and expenses. Subpart C, for the conservative application. 1016-301 application may file. 302 following service documents. 303 applicant answers to applications. 304 applied. 305 comments by other party. 306 settlement. 307 further proceeding. 308 decision. 309 agency review. 310 judicial review. 311 general provisions. Subpart general provisions. 1016 rule. Equal Access Justice Act provided the award of the attorney fee of the other for the eligible individuals that need the certain administrative procedure called the adversary injunctions by before the Transportation Board. Eligibility party may receive the award of the prevail of the board of any other agency in the United States anticipating the award received unless the award position with the proceeding of the other agency has substantially defied special circumstances may be awarded just. The parties eligible to award of the procedures that are covered. They also explain how to apply for the award procedure standard that the board will make them. 1016-102, but when the act apply with the adversely adjunction pending before the board of the October 1st, 1981, include the procedure before October 1st, 1981 final board action has been taken before the date with regards to when they were initiated when the final board of the action occurs. The rules incorporated with the chamber of the public law number 9980 and 99 statute 183 apply with generally the Cowers case into the October 1st, 1984 the awards of the case pending on the October 1st, 1981 file made between the date of September 30th, 1984 and prior statutory provisions to the extent of different with the existing ones for the implementing rules apply. 1016-103 proceeding coverage. The act applied with the adversary with the junction with the board of the under Title 5 U.S. and codified the position of any of the agency, the agency, the agency president, and by the attorney and other representatives, and here and after agency counsel enter the appearance of the participating in the proceeding person establishing the finding seeking rate but not covered in the act of the proceeding grant new license renewing license exclude with the proceeding modify the suspended revoked license covered with the otherwise adversely injunction with the generally type of the board proceeding is covered by the act include but not limited to the investigation proceeding the institute in Title 49 U.S. Standard Code 11701 Title 49 U.S. Standard Code 13905 disciplinary procedures conducted in pursuant to Title 49 CFR 11035. The board also designated a proceeding not listed with the paragraph A with respect to the adversely injunction with the act so stating the other initiating the proceeding the designated with the man of the hearing any other time during the proceeding the board failed with the name of the proceeding adversely is function and preclude the following with the applicant party with the political proceeding with the covered with the act with the proceeding with the covered will then be issued with the resolution proceeding the application and the proceeding include both material covered in any act may specifically exclude with the coverage award may include with the one fee of the expense related to the covered issues. 1016-104 decision making authority otherwise ordered by the board in particular proceeding the other application awarded under the purpose should be assigned the decision official decision making board body to enter the decision and verbally adjunction with the decision making by the virtue of the part of the adjudicative officer. 1016-105 eligible application to be eligible to award all the attorney fee of the other expense of the action. The application must be partly adversely adjunction with which of the award it must have to do with the adversely relationship position of the take of the agency control. It must have the prevail with the one over the issue rate. The U.S. Code 4B1B the application meet the eligible staff of part B of the eligible applicant to solve the actual who is worth $92 million at the time the legislation was initiated. Any owner of an unincorporated business any partner with the corporation association with the local government organization who net worth is $97 million, which had not no more than 500 employees at the time of the adversely injunction was initiated. An organization described Section 501(c)(3 Internal Revenue Code 1967 to the tax under Section 501A with the Civil Code Cooperative Act Associated defines Section 15A of the Agricultural Marketing Act that must be partly regardless of the net worth of such organization cooperative Association. For the purpose of the eligibility net worth, the number of the employees the application determines after the date of the proceeding with the initiative of the employee's application include all of the personal or regulated personal forms served with the enumeration application for the applicant directly control of the part-time employees shall be included the proportional basis independent contractors under the lease for the motor carriers not employees of the carriers on these rules. Also, agents motor commonly with the carrier's household good with the non-employee for the respect of the principal care of the net worth of the number of employees for the applicant and all of the affiliates of the aggregated with the determined eligibility individual for the corporation of the and any directly or indirectly control of the other majority of the voting share of the other interest of the application for the any of the corporation entity which for the application directly and indirectly owns and controls majority of the voting share of the other interests will consider affiliate with the person of the part of the educated officer for the determine the justice treatment would injust the contrary of the purpose of the act like the actual relationship between the affiliated entities. In addition to the adjunction of the act officer for the must determine the financial relationship of the application of the described paragraph constituting any special circumstance that would make award unjust. The application of the participant proceed primarily on behalf of one or more of the persons and either would be ineligible and eligible for an award. 1016 106 the standard of the award. Prevailing application must receive the award of the expense of the occur with the conjunction with the receiver, the significant discrete with the substance of the portion of the proceeding, unless for the portion of the agency of the applicant prevail with the substantial justified whether or not the position of the agency substantially justified the term of the base of the administrative record of the adversely adjunction with the other expense for the job of the board and approved for the award that shall not be made with the eligible prevailing application of the agency council which award the award showing the position of the reasonable law in fact award will be reduced to deny with the applicant within duly reasonable protracted by the receiving of the special circumstance make the award sought unjust. 1016 107 the allowable fee for the expense of the awards will be for the rates for the customer charge for the person exchange and engage with the business acting with the action for the agency the expense expert witness for the effectiveness of service of the made available without the change of the reduced rate of the application award over the fee of the attorney or the agent under these rules with exceed for the amount with the specified in Title 5 U.S. Standard Code 504B1A you for the higher justified with Title 5 U.S. Standard Code 504B1A. However, this as award must include the reasonable expense of the attorney agent with the witness with a separate item of the attorney agent and with the witness ordinarily charged with the client with a separately expense such expense for the reasonable for the fee of the attorney and agent with the expert witness for the judge of the officer shall consider the following if the attorney and the agent witness with the private practice for the hitter customary fee for the similar if the employee with the application fully allocated the office services. Prevailing the rate of the similar service of the community with which the attorney and the agent with the witness the ordinarily performs the service of the time actually spent with the representative of the applicant with the time reasonable spent and light with the difficulty complexity of the issue is perceived the other factors may bear with the value of the service provided the reasonable cost of the analysis engineering report prior to test the project similar project prepared on the behalf of the party being awarded the extent of the charge of the service that does not exceed prevailing rate similar service with the side of the other manner with the necessary of the preparation of the application case. And then it shows 1061 9 awards for the other agency. The applicant entitled to the award becomes available to another agency of the United States. The person the proceeding before the agency takes a position but that is not substantially justified to have the award appropriate portion of the award may be against the agency. Subpart B information required of the applicant. Contents of the application with the award of the fee the expense of the act identified of the applicant with the proceed with which of the award the shall of the application shall show the applicant with the prevail with the position of the board with the other agency with the proceed with the applicant allow not substantially justified within left the application for the individual application shall state the number of the applicant describe the briefly type of the purpose of the addition of the business application include the same of the applicant and of the worth of $92 million or $7 million the applicant include the and however if the applicant to this statement that's a copy of the ruling of internal revenue for the qualified for the organization draft 5123 in the internal revenue code except for the taxation of 51A of the such code if the state of the cooperative association defined in section 15A of the Agricultural Marketing Act of the application shall state with the amount of the fees expended for the award and so the application for the must include the other matters the applicant with the board to consider the determining whether and what amount of the award should be made. The application should be signed by the applicant with the authorized officer and attorney of the applicant. If also contained with the company with the written verification on the oath they under the penalty of perjury of the information provided the application is true and correct. 1016 202 the net worth exhibit each application should provide the applicant a detailed exhibit that shows the net worth of the applicant with any affiliation with the proceeding with the initiative the exempt that may be the any of the convenience event to the applicant with the provide the full disclosure of the applicant with the affiliates assessed with liability solution to determine whether the applicant qualifies under the standard in this part of the injunction. Officers may require the applicant file additional information to determine the eligibility of the award. Ordinary the net worth exhibited within the public record with the proceeding have with the applicant with the object with the public disclosure information. Any of the portions exhibited believe that there was legal ground to withhold the disclosure may file a motion. Thanks. motion which hold the information from the public disclosure board and the moving the part of the justified with the confidentiality of the information. 2016 203 documentation of the fees and expenses of the application should become with the full documentation of the fees expenses including the cost of analysis engineering report to this project. Similar manner with the award is solved with the separately within the item statement that was submitted with each of the professional firm and individual who served with the application from the Howard suspend with the connection proceed with each of the individual descriptions specifically services performed the rate of each of the fee with the computer with the expense for the which reimbursement is solved the total amount with the claim and total amount paid and payable by the applicant and any other person with the services provide the objective as with the remaining required the applicant with the right vouchers receive the other substantiation of expenses claimed. Alright, so Part C, procedure for the considering application 1 section 116.301 with the application may be filed the application may be filed when the applicant prevails the proceedings significantly disagree with a substantial portion of the proceeding with the non-case later than 30 days of administrative file the disposition proceeding. If the reconsideration taken a decision with the application and believe the proceeding with over the award shall be decided with the pending of the final of the disposition underlying controversy for the purpose of the rule set forth and rule by the board's ruling governing appealated procedure 15.2 and 11.3 to determine the decision becoming administrative final. Alright, 1016.302 the filing of the document the application of the board other than pleading document related with the application should be filed with served with all parties proceed with the same manner the other pleading for the proceeding except for the provided in 116.2b of the confidential financial information. 1016.303 answer for the application within 30 days of the serve the application counsel of the reporting representative of the agency which with the reward of the top of the final answer for the application unless the agency counsel requests the consent for the time of the filing of the files. Same with the intent of the negotiated under paragraph B of the section failure file with the answer within 30 days of the period may be treated as consent of the award requested if the agency counsel for the application believe the issue of the application can be settled that may be jointly filed with the statement the negotiated settlement of the filing of the statement shall extend the time of the filing and answer additional 30 days of the further extension may be granted as justified. The answer shall explain the detail of any objective award requested of the facts required relied on reported the agency counsel position with the answer is based on only on any alleged fact that not already in the record of the perceived agency counsel shall include the answer in either supporting the affiliate affidavit requesting further proceeding in section 106.307. 116.304 reply within 50 days after the service of the answer for the application may file the reply with the reply is based on the alleged fact that not already recorded with the perceived the application shall include the reply on either supporting affidavit request for the further proceeding in section 116 1016.307 and 1016.305 comments for the other parties any party for the proceeding other than the applicant agency counsel for the final comments application within 30 days after the server within answer within 50 days after the server the incoming party may not brought an issue. 1016.307 306 the application agency for the counsel may agree with the proposed settlement of the award final action the application for the other connection with the settlement of the underlying proceeding after the underlying proceeding having concluded with the prevailing party agency counsel to agree with the proposed settlement of the award before the application has been filed with the application shall be filed with the proposed settlement. 1016.307 further proceeding ordinarily determination for the award may be made on the basis of written record however and request of the application agency counsel for the hearing of the initiative for the officer with further proceeding necessary and request the deduction after the further proceeding under the section specifically identified for information of the top of the dispute with it shall explain with the additional proceeding necessary to resolve the issue. Alright, 1016.308 decision objective of the officer shall be the decision of application for the 50 day the completion of the proceeding with the application the decision shall include the writing time with the conclusion of the applicant and eligibility staff of the prevailing party with the explanation of the reason for the aim of the difference between the amount requested and the amount awarded. Decision shall also include the issue of the finding of whether the board of the other agency's position was substantially justified with the application duly with the protracted proceedings the proceeding with whether the special circumstances make the award unjust for the application but shall be the award against the other one agency for the decision shall get the responsible payment and award made for the agency shall explain with the reason for the allocation of made. 1016.309 agency for the review the event of the adjudicative officer for the entire board of the application agency counsel may seek the review the initial decision view of application for the board review the decision on initiative in accordance with section 1015 1115 and 2 no appeal with the taken an initial decision become the action of the board 20 days after the issue of the adjunction of the officer for the entire 1015 1015 applies. Alright, 1016.310 just review the final board decision on award may be subject provided by Title 5 U.S. Standard Code 504C2. 1016.311 the original position application seeking the payment of the reward shall be submitted to the appropriate official of the paying agency for the copy of the board financial decision the grant of the award accompanied by the statement of the applicant will not seek the review the decision of the United States Court of the unawarded grant against the Transportation Board applicant make the substantiation of the chief of the section of the financial service for the Transportation Board, DC 204230001. Ward will pay the amount awarded for the application 60 days of the applicant submission left for the judicial review of the award for the underlying decision of the Versailles Junction has been settled for the application in any of the party for the proceeding. And Part 117, debt collection offset for the indebted of the government, former government employees.